What's up, aliens? It's Big Al. Welcome to another Dumb Sports Empire. This one is going to be a little different. It's the off season, just not a lot going on. It's March Madness. Things are good. Houston was my champion in my men's bracket. They lost. Fuck them. My second bracket was North Carolina. They lost. Fuck them. Um, but this one, I'm just going to talk about me for a little bit, and that's not something I like doing. I think always in like job interviews it's always hard talking about myself because I don't know. It's you just feel weird about it, you know? Like I don't it's not my favorite thing. But I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm gonna tell my weight loss story. This is something I've wanted to do during football season. Um, I thought about it, thought about how to do it, what was the best way. I've written like a whole story in my notes app on my phone. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and read it. I'm gonna tell it from my perspective, just from the heart, off the wing. But I'm just gonna talk about how I lost weight, things I struggled with. I might get, I don't know, I don't think I'll get emotional, but I'll get sentimental about things. I'm more emotional since I had kids, made me a little bitch. But um, I just wanted to talk about my weight loss story and tell it. Hopefully, it's inspiring to someone. Hopefully, it's a new idea for someone that's tried to lose weight a bunch of times and hasn't been able to, because that was definitely me. Um, yeah, maybe it's just, something that inspires you, hopefully, inspires someone. If it inspires one person out there, that'd be a success. But I just wanted to talk about it. If you have no interest in hearing about this story, that's fine. See you later. If you're here for sports, not today. Sorry. But yeah, just kind of wanted to tell this story and hopefully, someone out there likes it. But um, I was 287 last January. So January 2023. 287 was the highest number I had seen on the scale ever. 287. I'm only 5'9", so 287 is fucking gigantic. But um 287, that's the number, that's the highest. So how did I get to 287? I was always a bigger kid. I was chunky in middle school and I started playing football and I kind of leaned out a little bit. I grew into my body. I think I peaked in my growing years at eighth grade. I was way taller than everyone in eighth grade, and I felt like I was a beast on the football field as a running back. Um, so I was leaned out a little bit. And then freshman year, I think freshman year is the earliest year I remember. I was 210 pounds. Um, Obviously, I wasn't born at 210, but that's just what I feel like is the earliest weight I can remember. 210 freshman year of high school, 240 senior year of high school. I had taken a bunch of protein and lifted a bunch of weights, I think, in between my junior and senior football season. So I probably gained 10, 15 pounds that year, plus 10, 15 pounds the year before, got to 240. Um, I went to Ohio after graduating. I had a pretty fun football career, high school. Got to play Division II football in Ohio. That's where I know the guys from the podcast, and I have a bunch of Ohio friends. Um, but I gained 20 pounds my freshman year. I don't know why. I mean, they talk about the freshman 15. I was eating like a beast just playing football, um, lifting a shit ton of weights. I got moved all around. I started as a tight end, but I was only 5'9", so I think I lasted like 3 practices at tight end. And then they moved me to linebacker, and I was probably a little too slow to play linebacker. And I was definitely too slow to play linebacker. They moved me down to D end, and if you know anything about D ends, they're not 5'9", 260 pounds. So I was on scout team, obviously. That was the only year I played college football. The only year I was a college athlete. 260. So I was 260, 19 years old, freshman in college in Ohio. And then from there, how do we get to 287? It's years of fast food, freaking not taking care of myself. I still lifted weights intermittently, but I always had that appetite of a football player. And then when the football went away, then it was just gluttony pretty much, right? So, um, fast food, being young, I mean, I always ate, but now I just have the athletics to counter it, right? So I think I was 260 for the longest time. I'd lost weight here and there. Nothing ever really worked. I would gain it back. I would get lazy. I got into running a little bit here and there. I'm super into running now, so that'll come later, but I'm trying to stay chronological here. But um, I just never lost the weight and kept it off. I would lose 10, 15 pounds here and there. It was never anything significant. But the when did I get up to 287? I think I gained 20 pounds when my wife and I went to Europe for 3 weeks for our honeymoon with a couple of friends. Um, it was all, I mean, if we were on a cruise for 15 days, we were in London for a couple of days. There was no exercising. I mean, walking around touring stuff, but there was no exercising. There was breakfast on the cruise ship. There was food out in Italy, France, Greece. It was awesome food. Just all over the place. Just food, 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 no exercising. I think when I got back from Europe, we're 280 pounds. I'm not saying I gained 20 pounds just specifically out there, but over time, I went from 260 to 280, and the biggest jump was definitely that 3 week vacation. All my shirts were fitting tight. It was just that was a mess. So now over the course of COVID, the next couple of years, we move up here to Central California. Whatever it is, I get up to 287. And my struggle, it's always been food. It's never been activity or even at work. I move around everywhere. I've worked in mattress factories, pet food factories. I work in a chicken factory right now. I'm moving around. I think I did 1,400 calories yesterday at work. Usually it's 900, but yesterday was busy. So I did like 1,400 calories at work. It was 7 miles or something like that just throughout the day. So I always kind of lived that active work lifestyle. But it didn't really hit me until last year. I was on the brink of turning 30. I had two kids. I had another kid that was on the way, and I was just a gigantic fat piece of shit. And the things I really struggled with were fast food. I don't think addiction is the right word because people have addictions that ruin their lives, and this was ruining my life, but it wasn't like ruining everyone's lives around me. I mean, it could have if I didn't take care of myself sooner, but um, it was bad, man. It was really bad. I would stop off getting fast food on the way home, Sonic, Wendy's, all kinds of just disgusting shit. I would stop off and get fast food like on the way home, and I would get like cash out at the gas station so I can get fast food after work. Maybe like 2, 3, maybe 4 days a week sometimes. So I'd be doing that just because I didn't want my wife to see that I was going to like Sonic, Wendy's, and Carl's Jr. all the time, just getting this bullshit food. And then I don't want her to know, and then I would feel bad about um so she would make dinner. So she always makes dinner. She's an angel, but I would feel bad about she made dinner. I wasn't gonna eat it. So I would eat dinner on top of that. So a couple of days a week I'd be getting fast food just because I craved the fast food. And then I would end up just still eating dinner on the way home. So stuff like that, man, just over the course of forever. Even when I lived with my parents after football. So I lived with my parents up until 23, probably 24. I moved in with my buddy Steven. Even living with my parents, they made food all the time, and they always say you can take food to work, or we can eat food for dinner. But it didn't matter. I was still getting Jack in the Box breakfast in the morning, or burgers at lunch, or Taco Bell before. Taco Bell was bad. I didn't even mention Taco Bell. I used to freaking hammer Taco Bell. Um, and I don't know where that came from. I've had a pretty good life, and some people eat like the 600-pound life people have like this crazy trauma that comes with their food addictions, and they can't get help for themselves. And that was never me. I never had like the trauma or anything, but I just so enjoyed food. Ice cream was freaking, I mean, I used to eat ice cream every single day, and I probably would now still, but I stopped buying it because I will. I'll eat Klondike bars. I'll eat all kinds of shit. So, um, that's kind of just a little backstory. So what kind of turned me around? I was 287, and you hear people talk about like fat people. You get sick of it eventually. You get sick of how you look in the mirror when you put a shirt on. You get sick of seeing a picture of yourself. I think we were in Hawaii. Um, 2 years ago. Was that 2022 or 2021? It was 2021. We were in Hawaii and um, my mom took like a shirtless pic of me or something like that, just holding my daughter, and I was just a fat fucking whale, just a beluga whale beached on the shores of Hawaii, just holding my daughter. Seeing pictures of yourself, the fear of taking your shirt off as a fat kid goes away, but then you just see the pictures of yourself and you're like, God, I'm never taking clothes off again. How did anyone ever have sex with me? It's just freaking crazy, man. The You get sick of it. I was coming up on 30. I was 29 January last year. My 30th birthday was in February. My wife was super into intermittent fasting. So I was like, I'm busy at work. I don't have time to sit here and work out for 45 minutes a day, making excuses, just staying fat as hell. Um, so my wife was doing intermittent fasting. So I eventually got to the point where I was like, I think I heard somewhere, I don't know what it was, but it was like, I work out because I want my um, kids to get bullied in school for having a hot dad. I mean, that's just something. It's not like something that changed my life, but it's something like, yeah, I don't want my freaking kids to be like, oh, that's Alec, or that's Arya's dad, that's Shiloh's dad. He's just a fat piece of shit, fat fuck. I never wanted to. That was probably something that motivated me most. Is like my daughters are gonna grow up and they're just gonna see this fat dad that's gonna have health problems and all this stuff, and that's not something I wanted at all. And then I wanted the longevity of being there for them just as long as possible. So intermittent fasting was the first step. So we'll do this intermittent fasting. We'll see how it goes. I started at 16 hours a day. It's pretty much just skipping breakfast. I lost 12 pounds the first month. That was crazy. And so that I'll go over how my weight loss happened and everything like that. But um, just know it's not a perfect straight down 60 pounds. That's what I lost was 60 pounds. It's not straight down. It's not perfect. It's not, oh, you did this in this amount of time. I would drop, I would plateau, I would maybe gain a couple pounds, and then I'd get back on track, and then I drop, and then I plateau, and shit happens, but we're here 12, 13, 14 months later, and we're still going strong. So um, it's not a sprint, definitely. You have to stay on top of this shit. But so I lose 12 pounds the first month, just intermittent fasting. I was like, oh, goddamn, it works. And I tried intermittent fasting in the past, but what you can't do and what I did in the past was, oh, I didn't eat for 16 hours and I just pig out for the 8 hours I was eating. You have to have the calorie deficit, obviously. And I'm not a doctor or anything like that. And I don't want to sound like I'm this health expert or anything like that, because I'm definitely not. But um, I would just pig out in the 8 hours I could eat. And you're pretty much eating the same amount of calories, if not more. So it's got to be a calorie deficit. So I stopped eating breakfast and I just didn't. I stopped snacking. I stopped eating. I had my 2 meals a day and life was great. So I lost the weight. We go to Vegas in February or March for my birthday. Down like 15 pounds, feeling good. Shirts are fitting a little loose. People at work could even like notice, they're like, "Hey, you lost a little bit of weight." I was like, "Oh, cool, man. That was fast as shit." Um, I got laid off in the end of March, and it was a stressful job, and I wasn't perfect at it. And there, it is what it is, whatever it was. But what that did was got me in a mindset to where, A, you're not working, you can't go out and eat food all the time. And I'd already been in the process of losing weight, so it wasn't like I would just had to like go cold turkey. But say, hey man, you can't go out anymore. You need to eat at home as much as possible, which is automatically just going to be healthier for you. Um, got to save money there. And then also I had so much time on my hands. I started working out. I started running again. And I'm at 270 at this point, starting to run again. Use the Nike Run Club app because I really like it. But um, I had the 1 year pop up on my Instagram or Facebook or something. But 1 year ago, I was running on the Nike Run Club app, which was um, during my unemployment time. I was running like 12-minute miles. I think some got down to like 11.5-minute miles, but I was running and I was losing the weight still. And things were good. And I got to a point where I started eating a lot again because I was running, because I was working out, and I had to get to the mindset of you can work out and you can run, but you still got to maintain a calorie deficit. I was going back to the old Alec football. Oh, you can eat whatever you want because you're playing football, and that's the part that kills you, right? So at one point, I stopped working out and started focusing on fasting because I was just eating too much. So I don't know if that was the right thing to do, but that's what I did. So I go, I plateau because I'm working out and running a lot and I'm eating a lot. I plateau, I stop. A couple months go by, I get down to 250. I got a new job. I'm working my new job. I think I was 250 when I started my job um, that I have now, making chicken wings and nuggets and tenders, which I mean isn't great for health, but um, the job is great. I love my people. I love my team. I love the guys I work with. Um, So I'm stuck at 250 for the first 3, 4 months of the job. I'm on a new schedule. I'm working like 2:30 in the afternoon to 12 in the morning. Um, and that's my schedule. Sometimes, I eat on the way to work and I would start fasting and then I wouldn't eat till the next morning. But I was still able to maintain my 16-hour window. But I plateaued like a motherfucker. I was stuck at 250 for a long time. And that's when I started doing the treadmill again. I got I heard somewhere that um, doing incline treadmill got your heart rate up and burned more calories than actual jogging. So I got really into that. You can sit on a treadmill with an iPad and watch whatever the fuck you want for 45 minutes. So I was doing it. My treadmill's max incline was 10. So I was doing a 10 incline with 35 minutes, 40 minutes. I would go up to, whatever I could. And I was doing that. And my heart rate was way up there. I think my heart rate was 180 when I was working out. I get up to 185, 189, which now my max heart rate gets up to like 160, 162. So um, even that shows you the kind of shape difference, going from 250 to I'm 230 now. I'm not exactly 60 pounds down, but I'm close and I'm running a lot. So I'm hoping to finally break 230 soon. Breaking 230 is a whole other thing. I could do a whole fucking episode on breaking 230 because my buddy Chris, who's on the show a lot, we text all the time. He's one of the people that's really helped me in this. So shout out to him. But I've been stuck at 230 like legit 2 or 3 months right now. I cannot break fucking 230. But the treadmill, incline treadmill, helps me lose a couple more pounds. I get really really into fasting. With the fasting, I was able to um, what was it? I got down 237, 238, something like that. Um, Fasting, I was able to get up to like 20 hours. I was doing a couple 24-hour fasts, 28 hours, and doing treadmill. Um, so I'm losing the weight. Things are good. In early December, I get pretty sick. I I was scared for a while. I was scared. I don't know what was happening. I one day I started peeing this neon bright orange piss. Like it was disgusting. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I had had this back pain last Christmas, like a year and a half ago. They just gave me some medicine, it went away. And then around Christmas time this time, so it was like early December, I had the back pain and I was like, this fucking back pain is back. It's weird. It keeps me up at night. I take ibuprofen to try and mitigate it and all that. But they gave me freaking muscle relaxers last year. So I still had some left over that hadn't expired yet. So taking the muscle relaxers, starting to go away, but then I just pissed like nuclear orange. I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? It's so weird. And then from there, I get the jaundice. The jaundice was bad, and people at work could see to my face and see to my eyes. I was fucking yellow, and a lot of times I couldn't see it in the mirror in my face. I could see it in my eyes for sure, but then I'd take my shirt off when I got home, and I'm pretty pale if you couldn't tell. So I just see freaking um, bright yellow on my skin. It was disgusting. I looked like I had a tan for a little bit, and it was changing my colors. And then the vomiting was bad. I was nauseous probably for 2 weeks straight. And for someone, I don't have a lot of nausea issues, but just to be nauseous all the time and working in a chicken factory that has cleaning chemicals in the morning because we cleaned overnight, and then the smell just cooking chicken all day, I was disgusted by the smell of chicken, chicken breast, chicken wings, tenders. I was disgusted by all chicken, and I had to sit out there and work in it every single day. I obviously went to the doctor, went to urgent care because I was freaked out about the pee. Um, they give me a freaking X-ray on my lungs. I don't know. I forgot why I got an X-ray on my lungs. Um, they thought because of my back pain, maybe I had something in my lungs. That wasn't it. Go to see another primary doctor. They tell me could be an issue with my liver, and she wasn't specific about anything. So she's like, there could be a liver issue. We don't know. There could be something, uh, gallstone blocking your bile ducts to your liver. There could be something else wrong with your liver. And she said, go see this guy and go get an ultrasound and go see this gastro surgeon or whatever. So I go get the ultrasound, go see this guy. He tells me I need to have my gallbladder removed. Um, that's fine. I ask why, and he's like, usually you get gallstones because fried fatty foods. And right there, I knew. I was like, fuck, all my freaking binge eating and bullshit, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Carl's Jr., freaking carne asada fries, these greasy ass Mexican restaurants. Um, that sounded more racist than I wanted it to. I'm just saying, like, Mexican food, the carne asada fries, like all the greasy shit I was eating, not the greasy Mexicans. But um, yeah, I'm not racist against Mexicans. But just all the bullshit I was eating, I was freaking like, man, the sins of my youth are just catching up to me now. And to have that kind of, now, obviously now that I know what it was, I wasn't dying, or but I was scared for a while just because of my skin and my pee and everything like that, the back pain. But afterwards, I knew I wasn't dying. I just knew like, damn, I have to go through this surgery to get my gallbladder removed because all the stones built up in my gallbladder and they could block my liver again. So eventually, I passed the stone and I get back to normal and I'm feeling great and everything like that. I'm not nauseous. My skin's back to normal. My liver's actually functioning. Um, Now I go get the surgery, get it yanked out. That surgery, I was out for 2 weeks. That surgery was freaking. Um, I see people on TikTok complain about it all the time, and I think it still pops up on my timeline because one time um, I was like searching like, oh, gallbladder surgeries. I wanted to see the surgery. I wanted to see everything, but now it still just pops up on my timeline. People are like, it's been 4 weeks and my gallbladder surgery still hurts me, and I'm like, that surgery was fucking nothing. You guys are tripping. Maybe I'm just built different. Maybe whatever. No, people react differently. It's. I was walking. I mean, I walked into my house that day. I was an outpatient. I was there for like 4 or 5 hours. Surgery was like an hour or two or something like that. Um, People say surgery is like the best nap you've ever had. I didn't think that. You close your eyes and you wake up and you're like, oh, what the fuck? And you just time travel pretty much. It's weird. And I had the IV in my hand and I felt the anesthesia going in and it was cold. It got super cold. I was like, oh, that's trippy. And I was talking to the people and then I was just fucking out. It was crazy. But they take my gallbladder out. Don't know how many stones were in there. Guy never told me. But um, the stitches were weird. And then you get this freaking shoulder pain because they blow your stomach up with gas so they can work in there easier. And it's just like three small incisions and then one incision in my belly button. And that's what they blew up the gas into my stomach to blow it up and have more room to work with their little robot hands. And the gas that stays in your body pushes on your spine, and the nerves in your spine give you this wild shoulder pain. It's the craziest thing I've ever experienced. I couldn't move. My shoulder was fucking wrecked. But then you can get up and walk around and displace the gas, and the shoulder pain will be gone in like 5 minutes. It was like, it's the wildest thing. Modern medicine is crazy, but recover from surgery, start feeling good. And now I'm really at the point. So pre-surgery, I was probably 238, 240. I think I stopped fasting for a little bit and started eating because I was so scared that my fasting like had done something to my organs and they were shutting down or something. Which, like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I just freaking myself out for no reason. So I think I was back up like 240. Um, Surgery, everything like that. I was running before I got sick, and I wanted to get back into running because what I found out was what I thought about the treadmill incline and everything like that wasn't really true. I think I'd get more out of jogging now, so that's what I've been doing more of. But um, I wanted to come out of surgery faster than anyone. I wanted to have the quickest recovery. So I'm walking around the next day. The first day you're fucking the anesthesia fucks you up, and I was laying in bed. I took my painkillers, ate a little bit, went to the bathroom a couple times. That's something they don't talk about too, is you don't poop for like 3 days after surgery. Mine was 3 days. People have gone weeks because of the painkillers. So, um, yeah. And then when they have incisions in your stomach, you try to poop, you're trying to push. All you do is just feel your stitches ripping in your freaking stomach. The trip. You're like laying down and like sitting up, you feel your stitches just tearing apart. It was fantastic. So that was my surgery. I wanted to bounce back so fast. I was working out or I was walking on the treadmill a week after my surgery. And then he told me no lifting for 4 weeks. So I wasn't trying to lift and to blow my stomach out. But I was started running, I think after a week. It wasn't like marathon running or anything. It was a mile or two, maybe. It's being on the treadmill trying to I was feeling great. I was feeling great. I started running. I wasn't working, so I had some time. I was getting a lot of sleep just to try and recover and everything like that. Um, it was good. It was good. I got back pretty quick, and ever since then, that was when I go back to where I had the surgery was January 26th, and then I was running everything like that. I started getting really into running towards the end of February, and then me and my buddy Chris, who I text almost every day, every other day about weight loss. Every Saturday I do weigh-ins. I always text him when it's good news. If it's bad news, I tell him I'm going to kill myself. Um, you know how it goes. You know how your friendships are. So we decided for Lent, we weren't going to give anything up, but we were going to work out 40 workouts, 40 days. And we fucking did it. We just did it. We both did it. Yesterday was the last day. But 40 workouts in 40 days. Chris is a beast. He's benching 405. The guy's a fucking tank. Um, but just keeping each other accountable. And he's been the biggest guy to just help me. And he always cares. And when I freaking text him all the time, I don't even know if it's a good time for him or not to talk about it, but it would just be like, hey man, I lost 3 pounds this week, you know. And he's always positive with his response. He's always proud of me. So just thanks to my wife for getting me into intermittent fasting and pushing me and telling me I look good. And then thanks to Chris for always just being happy for me no matter what it is. So that stuff's important. You got to have someone in your weight loss, your fitness journey that's just going to help you get there. And we did the 40 days, 40 workouts. Then I decided in March I wanted to do 100 days or 100 miles in 31 days. It's just 3 miles a day. Have a good, you know, a good running month. I did a weight loss challenge with a buddy Adam and a couple other friends right when COVID hit, and it was like who can do the most miles in a month. Um, I went back and looked. I did 86 miles. I thought I did like 120, but I was way wrong. I did 86 miles in that month, and I was like, okay, if I'll just beat 86 miles, I'll get to 100, and it'll be a great month. The more I started doing it, the more I was like, I can do more. I can do more, and I was doing 3 miles, and I'll be like, oh, I still feel good. Go to 4 miles, go to 5 miles. And it just got higher and higher. I did a couple 8 mile runs on some Sundays. I got up to a 9 mile run at a 9:30 pace. And I don't know if you remember earlier, I said my pace at the start of all this, 2023, 11 and a half, 12 minutes. Today, I ran 4 miles in under 9 minutes. 8:58 was my pace. So going from running at 270, 280 to running, I even went back and looked at the challenge from a few years ago. My pace was like 11, 12, 13 minutes. It was ridiculous. I think I was walking in some of those, so it's not like I was just dying on the freaking track. But um, yeah, no, man, just being having the accountability and just getting really into something. Keeping score for yourself is always important. Like, hey, if you lost a pound this week, you lose 2 pounds next week, whatever it is, just always trying to improve on the runs, kicking up the pace. This was the first week I kicked up the pace on the treadmill. Um, I went from like 6 to 6.3, and I was like, 6.3 still feels kind of slow. So I started doing 6.5 and feeling good. Just whatever you do, just get into something, you know, get in. I'm into running. That's not for everybody. Chris is really into weightlifting. I'm not as big of a weightlifter as him, but that's working great for him. My wife's walking incline on the treadmill and she eats great. She's doing great. She's lost a bunch of weight too. Find those people, find a community. If you don't have someone in a community, talk to me. I'll do it with you. I'm at 230. I can't fucking break 230. I don't know what it is. I'm running a fuckload. I did 100 for the 40 days, 40 workouts. I did 170 miles during Lent. I did 170 miles in 40 days. Tomorrow is the last day of the March 100 challenge. I'm at 130 miles in March with 1 day left. So I'm going to try to do 4 or 5 miles tomorrow. So I'm going to get 135 miles in March. Not everyone's going to do that. I've run a fuckload, but I can't stop eating because I freaking need the fuel. And when I'm fasting, my runs suck. So I have to eat because I have to have a good run to feel good about myself. But I've almost lost 60 pounds. I was 230.4 today. Freaking so close to breaking 230. But I've gotten down to 231, and then next week I'll be up at 236, and then I'll be back down to 233, and then I'll be back down to 230, and then I'll be up at 232. And it's like, fuck, man, just break 230. Just fucking get there. But the 40-day challenge, as much as it wasn't about losing weight, I've seen changes in my body. Like I feel like my legs are shredded. This is the part where like I don't like talking about myself, but I feel like my legs are fucking shredded right now, because of all the running and the incline treadmill that I did. I'm starting to incorporate weights more now that the running challenge is going to be over. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I feel good. I had that health thing that sucked, but it didn't stop me. I was so motivated to just recover and get back, and to have a 135-mile month, 134-mile month, and to go through Lent and do 40 workouts, 40 days. Fat Alec never would have done this stuff. Very proud of where I come from. Very proud to be here right now. I've got a almost 4-year-old daughter, got a 2.5-year-old daughter, and a 7-month-old daughter. Beautiful wife. I don't hate myself when I see myself in pictures of us anymore. Emotionally, I feel great. Getting incredible sleep. I didn't have to do any supplements or anything crazy too, and that's the part that I always wanted to get there without, you know, doing the workouts without pre-workout or without post-workout protein or nothing crazy, right? I didn't jump on Ozempic. I didn't do anything dumb. Um, just do it. If you're on the fence, if you need something to push you, no one's gonna push you like yourself. People talk about jobs not caring about you, or I mean, some friends may not even care about you. You care about you. You care about you a lot. I cared about me a lot. I started caring about me a lot. I didn't always, but I started caring about me a lot. And you have to. You have to, or you're gonna kill yourself. It's not gonna be suicide, but you're gonna stress yourself out. You're gonna have bad eating habits. You're gonna do that stuff. And I still eat, you know, I still eat some crap sometimes. It's okay. It's okay because I know I go and punish myself on the treadmill, and I'm gonna eat good during the week, and I'm gonna have a cheat on the weekend. It's gonna be okay, man. It's gonna be okay. Work your ass off. I thought there was always a substitute. I was like, oh, if you can take this pill or you take apple cider vinegar, start burning fat, or you can do it in a month and you can lose 40 pounds, whatever. It's not like that. It's a grind. I'm 14 months into being really serious about it, and I haven't even lost 60 pounds yet. I can't break 230. I want to get under 210. That'd be sweet because that was my earliest remembering weight, but I'm not done yet. I I'll get there, I'll get there on my own time. Thanks for listening to this. I contemplated how I was going to do it. Just wanted to get it out there. I hope you enjoyed it. Listen to the podcast for your sports content, football, off-season stuff. We got a lot of stuff. The guys really add a lot to the podcast. I love doing it with friends. So, um, if you stayed this far, thank you. I hope it inspired someone. But go out and just start making the changes. Start little, start big, whatever you want to do. Just don't get to the point where you see yourself in the picture and you're just fucking sick of yourself. You're like, oh, what a fat, disgusting pig. I hope you don't get there. I hope you start beforehand. Be better than me. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for listening. Love always. Iowa fucking sucks.